It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Top of the morning to you, Nigeria.
We hope you're ready and already out of bed. Hopefully you're ready to get this show on the road with us.
And of course, this show is going to be all of 2 hours and 45 minutes. My name is Mike Mexican.
And I'm Titi Layo Oyinson. Now we're live streaming on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Please connect with us. We appreciate you sending those comments, contributions, prayers, everything you want to send in. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Some other way to connect with us would be via our mobile app. It can be downloaded from any iOS or Android store. You can watch us, interact with us via that mobile app anywhere in the world once you have internet connection.
Yes, indeed. Now, we have quite a lineup for today.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Today's 30th, right?
Yes, sir.
Or more.
It's almost...
July don't end, though.
Yeah, as in like joke.
So we just have August.
And then the ember months.
September, October, November. And it's always very close to Christmas, right?
So we need to start prepping. Hopefully, some of your goals that you started in the year, you started reaping the benefits of them. Like,
definitely.
We were giving some motivation at the beginning of the year for you.
Definitely. I have one or two goals that I've been able to keep. I'm quite proud of them. I hope you are also. Now, to kick us off this morning, also known as Angie, will be giving us our first musical performance this morning.
Then we have the senior consultant with Vinci Hair Clinic, Ayo Otumbajo. Now, they'll be joining us for a DIY on hair loss and restoration. Some people need this particular one.
Plenty. And then it's on to bringing you entertainment news. Of course, we're looking about what our celebrities have been doing.
Yes, indeed.
And love that he gives not only to me, but to his children.
We also have a musical performance coming your way from Abel. Abel's a renowned music producer and songwriter. Can't wait for that one.
Modupe Enyila is a beauty consultant, a mom, blogger, and co-founder of iMom Zone. She will be joining us for parenting to talk about parental resilience as a protective factor against child abuse.
Very important topic there, I have to say. We also have a guest this morning who is an award-winning actor and director, none other than Paul Utomi will be on the couch.
I know all the numbers, the hustlers, pimps, all the runners.
Okay. Well, honestly, a good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
It was just a rush this morning. Everybody was like, are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? And it feels like that energy, that anxiety of making sure we get ready for the show on time often makes it an even better show. You know, I think the fact that everybody is always striving
already.
Yeah, everybody's like always striving for it to be really cool is what helps us really get there in the end. But I was gonna ask,
Okay.
when it comes to anxiety and fear, what is the thing you are most afraid of? I've always wanted to ask this question, especially from Mike. What really,
Not afraid of anything.
what gives you goosebumps when you think about it?
What am I afraid of? Yeah, so earlier on, I would give a very, very choreographed response. No, I fear nothing. It's not true, man. It's part of life. It's part of life. I mean, in fact, a lot of times it can save you. But come to think about it, I'm not really. So of course, growing up, I used to be scared of the dark.
Okay.
But now, sometimes I'm scared of the light safe. Like I love the dark so much. So I don't know what am I most scared of? Maybe I would say maybe not being fulfilled, not doing, yes. I think so. Not being fulfilled. Like I don't want to get to the twilight of my life and I'm thinking that I could have done more. Basically, wow. So I think that's it's quite
deep. That's deep.
It quite gets me.
Do you know why Mike has been on motivation for some weeks and you're saying that's deep?
That's deep.
But
Mike
it's about physical stuff, like maybe
like spiders or something.
No, I don't.
No, but that one is phobia. People don't know there's a difference between fear and phobia. Phobia is fear of whatever. When you start some scobic. Yes, phobia is actually different from fear.
You say blue cyan. See, all of them are under fears. They're all fears. Yes, no.
But phobia is like
when you have
when
you have claustrophobia, you're afraid of spaces.
Yes.
Aerophobia,
but fear,
height. Okay, now fear of spiders is arachnophobia.
Fear of not being fulfilled. What was it? Shebi I don't say it's arachnophobia. Oh yeah, now they are different.
Are you ready to get to
Oh yeah,
now?
let's hear.
Now, fulfill is from a Latin word.
Fulfillophobia.
That's too easy. That's too easy. If you say fulfillophobia, I don't understand. You see, so fulfill gets its root. Are you listening? Take a pen.
Don't worry, we are writing. Oh yeah.
I need you to get a pen now, your jotter.
No, I
get it now. Get it now.
I have.
You're about to learn
Mary
something
has
now.
been dodging talking about what she's afraid of.
So
Me?
wait. We'll talk about it. We're not running. After one 4 we'll talk about it. Are you ready to take a note now? Take it. You have to, okay.
Oh yeah, Mike.
So, now, fulfillment. It is from the Latin that goes through the cow.
He's going to go to the
And make sure that the gate is above where you pass through.
Wow.
The Latin that goes through the cow. It is yourself you will be confused. We'll be taking notes. No wahala.
Mary,
take a note down.
meanwhile, what are you? Is it phobic of?
What am I afraid of?
Yeah.
Do you know I'm afraid of myself?
That's not good.
I am my own. No, honestly, I'm my own biggest fear.
But too deep
I'm
this
afraid
morning.
that I'm not pushing myself to my potential. I'm afraid of pushing myself to my potential. I'm afraid of so many things. Will I get things right in life? Will I not get things right in life? So when people talk about fear of so many things, my biggest fear is actually myself, because I'm aware that I can do things, but I realize that I don't do them.
So it's like more of a fear of not channeling yourself because of the fact that you're scared of what you're going to get at the end.
Fear of being afraid. That's the beginning.
Because
And fear of not being afraid. That's just it. But you know you haven't said yours.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm reserving mine.
She'll say. All right, let's head over to news now. Ibrahim is on standby.
Well, that's quite interesting. I think Mike is quite, he knows more about, much more about phobia. Fear of being afraid, that would be phobia, right? But if you're afraid of not being happy, something very close to fulfillment is cherophobia. Yeah.
You didn't allow me to get to it. I was about to get to it after the gate when you jumped down.
Don't mind him, Mo.
I was close to it.
Don't mind him.
All right, go ahead,
Go
man.
ahead with the
Maybe
news.
after the news, we'll just have to do that. Now, 2 days after the killing of 65 mourners at a funeral, suspected Boko Haram members have again struck in Borno State. At least 2 communities came under attack today. They are Bama and Benishek. We have details. Details are still sketchy, but we'll bring them as we get them. An Islamic movement in Nigeria will have to wait till Monday next week to know whether their detained leader would be permitted to travel out for medical care. That's the day the Kaduna State High Court has adjourned Ibrahim El-Zakzaki's suit seeking leave to travel to India with his wife for treatment. The Kaduna State government believes that medical treatment can be handled in Nigeria, but his lawyer argues otherwise. Tessa Makende has more.
Another day in court. A day activities are shut down in many parts of Kaduna metropolis. For hours, counsel to the state argued that medical attention sought abroad for Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki and his wife can be gotten in Nigeria.
From Barau Diko Teaching Hospital, from hospitals in Lagos, National Eye Center, and other hospitals in Abuja. There's a diagnostic medical center in Abuja. What the applicant needs is further observations or further clinical examinations to ascertain which type of treatment he will enjoy.
But they are countered by counsel to the IMN, who says no hospital has proven to have the facilities.
Not a single medical report. No doctor up to today. I said they can be treated locally.
The sheikh and his wife were not in court. Counsel to the sect say they are not fit to do so. Charges against the Islamic movement in Nigeria were filed here at the Kaduna High Court on 19th April last year. They range from culpable homicide and unlawful assembly, among others.
Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaki and his wife appeared for the first time on 2nd August the same year. Tessam Akende, TVC News, Kaduna.
And the Lagos State House of Assembly has set up a 16-man committee to commence screening of the governor's nominees who are expected to work as members of his cabinet. The committee is expected to commence the screening on Thursday.
14th of July, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu forwarded a list containing names of nominees who will be serving as members of his cabinet to the State House of Assembly seeking its approval. On Monday, the 22nd of July, 1 week after, the lawmakers returned from their recess, confirming receipt of the list sent in by the governor.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable members, we have correspondence from the Office of the Governor of Lagos State addressed to the Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, and it is titled Forwarding of the List of Nominees for Appointment as Commissioners and Special Advisors.
While residents of Lagos cannot wait for the new administration to commence work fully, the State House of Assembly has set up a 16-man committee that will be carrying out the screening exercise for the commissioner nominees. The committee was set up by the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, at Monday's plenary.
To commence activities on the screening, we set up a committee to take charge of the screening. The committee is to be chaired by the Chief Whip, Honorable Rotimi Abiru, and to report back in a week.
We are going to check their background, no doubt about that. We are going to check their relevance to their field, but more importantly, their political will to serve and their integrity will matter in all of this. Because there must be determination. We must see the commitment in them. You must see the zeal. You must see the, because you must be public spirited. You must be altruistic. You must be patriotic. You must be somebody who's called to service, who's given to service.
While the governor awaits the lawmakers' approval, the committee had begun work as they receive credentials and other vital documents of the nominees that would be screened. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, outside Nigeria, at least 17 people have been killed after a small military plane crashed into a residential area in the Pakistani city of Rawalpindi. 5 crew members of 12 civilians are dead, while 12 others are injured. The aircraft was on a routine training flight when it crashed and set off a fire which engulfed several houses. Rawalpindi, near the capital Islamabad, is the site of the Army's headquarters. It is not clear what caused the crash. Well, that's the news for this hour. We take a break and go for weather report.
I guess you get to start with the newspaper headlines this morning.
Yeah, it's an interesting headline today.
Okay.
It says, Absalami, Akinyemi, others, let's reduce tension. It also says here that there's a story, a picture story here, where it says, all hands on deck, youths butchering the whale at the weekend. So an excited community feasts on a dead whale that apparently washed ashore over the weekend. While some frowned upon feasting on it, you know, not knowing how it died, but some were saying it was a gift from God. You know, really two-sided coin there. We also have this headline. It says, 4 children, landlord injured as building collapses in Lagos. Oh, wow. That's been in the news. since yesterday. Aregbesola Fashola proposed new tax regime, 10 trillion naira bond. IMF, CBN clash over multiple exchange rate. Panel to screen Lagos would-be commissioners. How Boko Haram killed 68 mourners in Borno. On Atiku, why INEC didn't call witnesses. And finally, Olubadan High Chiefs end rift. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right, moving on to the Daily Sun newspaper now. This says, amid summit boycotts by Southern Middle Belt groups, Abdulsalami warns over rising tension, says there is anger in the land. Now, after 5-day screening, Senate confirms ministers today, so that's something to look forward to. Atiku versus Buhari. INEC closes defense without calling witness. Buhari takes his turn today. Gunmen kill 3, cut away millions in Benue. Now, here we see a photo of security personnel at the gates of the Kaduna State High Court during a special hearing to grant medical access to Islamic Movement of Nigeria's leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zazaki, which was adjourned to August 5 yesterday. So August 5 is when the judgment ought to be made. Now, more Nigerians may be killed in South Africa, others, Lawan alerts. And finally, up here, IPOB anti-Ruga protests grounds Ebonyi. All of these stories and more in the Daily Sun newspaper today.
We have the Punch newspaper up next. It says ministerial screening. Senate okays nominees today. PDP demands EFCC probe. And page 2 has more on that. Meanwhile, lawmakers take voice vote as lie 2 others appear. Ministers designate must be subjected to graft probe, it says there in quotes. Right beside the masthead here, it says on the delay, Ekiti, Ondo, other pilgrims shot Ilorin Airport. It says Zamfara to employ ex-bandits to combat killings, kidnapping. El-Zakzaky absent, court rules on bail August 5th. On contracts, Makinde Abiodun raised panels to probe Ajimobi Amosun. And it also says here, INEC fails to call witnesses and Buhari begins defense. Then I'll wrap it up with this one. It says, Lagos-Ibadan Road, Berger to relax closure for Salah RCCG convention. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
I'm not sure there's time for us to take another one, but let me just push this one. The Guardian newspaper. Senators flay Buhari government over unfinished projects. Early jobs unrealistic, says Fashola. Seeks 10 trillion naira infrastructure loan. Aregbesola blames ignorance, mischief for criticism of his government. Submits ministerial list to EFCC. PDP urges lawmakers. Down here we see at Peace Summit, Abubakar, others seek dialogue to end insecurity. Akinyemi urges return to confab report. Southern Middle Belt leaders shun parley. Akriniade, Ishola, Haruna, Akilu, Kwande, Diete others in attendance. Here we see again, Anambra newspaper vendors declare strike over alleged harassment. No presidential directive to Obaseki to issue fresh proclamation of Edo Assembly. Now up here, we see Atiku PDP evidence supports our case. INEC tells tribunal. Government malls shedding equity as development bank grants SMEs 70 billion naira. And 15 persons feared killed in Nasarawa auto crash. And of course, the photo story here showing the reunion between the Olu of Ibadan, that's Olubadan of Ibadan land, and his chiefs who were promoted by former Oyo State Governor Abiola Ajimobi in Ibadan yesterday. All of these stories and more, of course, in the Guardian newspaper today.
And that's all we can take on the headlines for now. We have to take a quick break. We'll be back with the traffic update.
Good morning and thank you for staying tuned. It's time for Lagos traffic updates on Wake Up Nigeria. If you're joining us for the first time, please note that you can always be a part of this segment by sending a message on Instagram, on Facebook, or even on Twitter to let us know what your traffic situation is using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, and of course take a traffic selfie and share. It will be nice to see what you look like, even though you're looking stressed perhaps. Okay, so let's take a look at what the traffic situation is. I'll be starting from the Ile-Epo axis of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, heading to Oshodi this morning. Now, if you're coming out of Ile-Epo heading towards Iyanokpaja, there isn't much traffic right now. As soon as you pass the bridge at Ile-Epo, you would encounter just light traffic around the Zenith area. But as soon as you pass the Zenith area, it's free-flowing, amazingly so, until you're approaching Iyanokpaja. In fact, the bumper-to-fender traffic is sudden. It's not the usual building and then it becomes bumper-to-fender. No, as soon as you're approaching, it just hits you right in the face. But don't you worry, as you just need to remain patient. It's probably because of the narrow road there due to the bridge and all the extra routes that have been created. As soon as you get out of under bridge, like you just drive through on the bridge, is free-flowing traffic again. And that free-flowing traffic continues until you get to, well, there are pockets of light traffic, okay? But it continues until you get to Dokpemu area. Now, Dokpemu again, you will find the traffic building up and then it becomes bumper-to-fender traffic under the bridge at Dokpemu. Afterwards, it eases out. And in fact, you will get to Cement bus stop area before you encounter any traffic. But it's light traffic, okay? And then there'll be a freeway for a while until you get to the Mangoro axis where you encounter traffic again. Interestingly, there isn't so much traffic from that area until you get to Ile-Zik. At Ile-Zik, you will encounter bumper-to-fender traffic, and that takes you all the way to Ikeja along. The moment you pass Ikeja along, in fact, the moment you pass the National bus stop, is free-flowing traffic all the way to Oshodi. Okay, so that's how sweet your journey is going to be this morning until, of course, you get to the arena axis. When you're approaching the arena axis, the traffic begins to build up and it becomes bumper to fender until you get to Oshodi Bridge. So just prepare your mind for traffic in that axis. Now, for those who don't know, when you're setting out in the morning in those areas, you have to be aware of the possibility of serious traffic. So if you're new to that area, you might want to consider leaving home a little earlier. That's the one sure way to escape the traffic in that axis. All right, so let's take a look at what Oworo to Obalende looks like right now. It's not so bad. Good news, as against yesterday when the traffic on the 3rd Mainland Bridge was not pleasant at all. So, excuse me. So from Oworo side, you realize that the traffic is not so much. You would encounter just a couple of areas where there's light traffic, but no bumper to fender traffic, just light traffic, especially connecting to the 3rd Mainland Bridge, okay? But on the 3rd Mainland Bridge is free-flowing. Yes, I'm not even kidding. It's free-flowing. It will take you less than an hour to traverse the 3rd Mainland Bridge. But when you get close to the end of the bridge, the traffic begins to build up, and then it becomes bumper to fender traffic until you are off the bridge heading to Obalende. But don't you worry, as soon as you're off the bridge, the traffic just becomes really light, especially when you're traversing Osborne Road area. As soon as you pass the Osborne Road bridge area, you'd encounter free-flowing traffic. And then at the Etiosa 2 local government area side, that's past the Ring Road, that's where you would encounter bumper to fender traffic, and then it becomes light as you're approaching Obalende. So don't you worry, this journey this morning is going to be really easy for many of us, especially regarding Lagos traffic. However, I have to join the guys in the kitchen right now. I wonder if you guys have any updates for me. Maybe you can give me those as I'm coming.
It's interesting. You know, there's not as many tweets as there's been. So I noticed that there's some of the handles that we usually follow. Sometimes, like, they're still asleep. when we're awake. Sometimes, and then sometimes they're wide awake, and you're like, these guys are tweeting, they're on point. But at Follow Last Month doesn't have any really relevant updates this morning. There is a traffic butter, and traffic butter basically is talking about the potholes around Ikeja along pedestrian bridge causing traffic, impeding traffic. And the services of LSPWC are needed there for urgent road rehabilitation for ease of that traffic gridlock. And it seems to be something people are complaining about quite regularly.
Yeah.
But there's also this update. Iyanodokwemutu Zik, slow movement at Mongoro and cement bus stops and all that. So it's fine.
Okay, so Titi.
Yeah.
You were supposed to tell us about what you're afraid of. You thought we'd forgotten.
Really?
Yes, we're going to start our gist this morning with that. What are you afraid of?
So that's the thing. I think I'm afraid of a lot of things. Yeah. But there are new things making people afraid every single day. You know, sometimes I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing to the wrong person getting the wrong idea. Sometimes I'm afraid of doing things that are too... Okay, so someone told me in this particular working environment that they think I'm a bit too ambitious. So sometimes I'm afraid of being too ambitious. Maybe I don't want to get promotion or what. You don't know who you're gonna whose toes you're gonna step on next. Yes, I've heard. So I'm also afraid of not doing enough to help other people. So I try to help a lot of people along the way, but then when you're helping some, you now realize they're not even helping themselves. You're like,
I know what you're talking about.
You know where I'm going?
I know.
So, and then there's also the fear of the unknown.
Could you know, while we're doing this, you can share with us.
Yes, what are you
TVC
afraid
Connect.
of?
What you're afraid of.
Let's see if we can take some tweets while we're talking about it. So what are you afraid of? Don't go without cliché. See, everybody...
People have fears.
Don't forget to use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, so it's easier for us to find your comments.
Then I realized that I had a subtle phobia for... back in the day, I had a phobia for very dirty, irritating things. You know, I was always scared of them. But at the point, by the time you change like 10 million diapers, those dirty, irritating things, you're not fair. So it's like fears change with wherever you are and whatever you're doing at, you know, at any point in time. So I don't know. I don't think I'm as afraid as cockroaches as I used to be when I was a kid, for instance. Now I'm not afraid anymore. Like the way you said, you're no longer afraid of the dark.
So the cockroach this morning, there was one I just saw. Don't point about this thing.
Cockroach.
That animal, it's
not. It's an insect, please.
Insect, they're all animals.
No, it's insect.
That insect or whatever. So you swipe, you swipe and then you don't hit it and you just miss.
Yeah.
The cockroach. She was before. And then this one was looking like flying one. But it was before maybe I would have been. But I really do hate cockroaches, but hey.
So my fear of cockroaches was so bad that I used to go and do research. So I discovered that cockroaches are the fastest insect in the world. So the way they move, basically they are the cheetah of the insect world. They are so fast. And then there was this argument I was having. This is weird, we're talking about cockroaches. And there was an argument I was having. Some people said the cockroaches, when they die, they don't smell. They smell, though.
Your nose is extra sensitive.
No, they smell. If you have cockroach that's died in one corner and you're one the one smelling there,
it's roaches.
It's
wow.
So
you see,
it's just crazy.
It's cool. You know, but when you look at it, bringing it full circle, it changes at times. But the three greatest fears. You know, at times some people do some researches based on surveys. So maybe you go to a particular area and then you survey 1,000 people. So, but then there are three that are very constant ones: fear of failure, fear of death, and fear of rejection. And I want to talk about fear of rejection, fear of no. Man, that one can be very scary. A lot of us can be.
Someone telling you no.
Yeah, but you see, if we can overcome that fear, a lot of people, I mean, see, it's not easy to accept no.
Yeah.
It's not easy to accept.
That's true.
You know, fear of rejection. In fact, in a number of places, they tell you it's number one. But then death and failure and all of that, you know, they all, three of them all move around and all of that.
Yeah.
So rejection is, you know, someone once said that, look, man, get used to
being rejected or hearing no.
Because, you know, the more no's you hear, the closer you are to your yes. So get done with it. Get the no's fast and coming. The yes is on the way.
I, as a matter of fact, I've learned to accept the no's that I get in my life. Because sometimes you need a no to wake you up.
You're right.
Like,
You're right.
what are you doing with yourself? And then sometimes a no could even be the prelude to a yes, because the no, when you take a walk, for example, in a relationship, the other person realizes they don't want to lose you, or you mean so much more to them than they thought, and it fixes things. So don't be afraid of no's. You never know what kind of yes you might.
Okay, to wrap this up, a lot of parents are scared of telling their children no.
Yeah.
And that is something you need to overcome fast. You need to tell that child no.
Yes, sir.
That child needs to hear no from you before they hear from someone else. Because that builds an anger in that child.
Life will be strong. If you don't learn,
you better tell no. Tell them no. I want biscuit, no. I want milk, no. I want tea, no.
If you want, yes. What do you mean? Why did you keep them in the house?
I'm just saying.
We'll take this break. We'll be right back after this. We've got Angie in the house, a wonderful gospel artist who recently had a concert, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so can you tell us about the concert? Why did you put it together, and what did you achieve with the concert?
Okay, it's my second album launch.
Okay, it was an album launch and a concert?
Yes, and a concert. Title chosen.
Okay.
You know, I featured a few gospel artists as well.
Okay.
The likes of Bidemi Lauba, Big Bolaji, and the rest of them. So it was just to sell myself to the world and then to praise God. So that's just basically
Now there's a question I like asking gospel artists. Money and the gospel. Now, a lot of people invite you for a concert and say, you're doing it for God. You know, Angie, don't you love the Lord? Just come and perform free for us and go. How do you draw the line? If you're called, ministering and also making money for yourself, because that's what you do, how do you strike the balance?
Okay, it really depends. If it's a big church, we have to be considerate. If it's a very big church, okay, you can give them this is what you want. But if it's a church that's not too big like that, can still be considerate. But nevertheless, we still have to have our logistics. I mean, we can't put our urine inside the car, so we still have to our logistics.
Get all of that ready. Okay, so it's your second album. Looking forward, what should people who love you, what should they look forward to? That's your second album that you just did drop, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what should your people that love, what should they look forward to in that album? What?
Okay, expect to be blessed. Because I have I have this Adura, which is the favorite track of everyone.
Okay, which is what you're performing now.
Yes, today.
Wonderful,
and also
wonderful.
my favorite track. There's Adura, there's Lomi, there's
Okay.
Steady. You have all what you want in it. There's High Life, Afro, and everything.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's have the performance of Adura now. Take it away. Welcome once again. It's a wonderful Tuesday morning to you, Nigeria. Now, we hope that by now you already know that what we do here every day, that which is, of course, bringing a splash of sunshine, brighten up your day with educative discussions, lifestyle hints, music, food, and everything else that makes you pick up the remote on your TV every single morning. Now, of course, the week is shaping up nicely for us, and you only have to tune in to be a part of the feel-good experience that we dish out on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm Mike Mesikeno, and also remember that you can catch up with us. So we're streaming live on our website, tvcontinental.tv, on Facebook at TVC Connect. You can hook up with us and interact with us with the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Remember also that you can download our app on mobile at the Android and iOS stores, and you can watch us anywhere once you have internet connection. Of course, you know how we do it. We have to head to the kitchen. But the kitchen is looking like it could do with one more person. Hello, Mary. You want to tell us what's happening?
Wait, do you have a problem with me being all by myself in the kitchen?
Mary, at all.
Who says I want to cook today?
Mary, how high is your heel today?
It is the same height as yesterday.
No, 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 no.
I looked at photos yesterday and I saw I was a head taller.
No, 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 Mary, this one...
what's his name? Than Chef B. And I was like, hey?
This one is tall.
In fact,
so you now wanted to...
Are you tempting me to take off the shoes?
Please take it off.
Okay, let's see whether there will be a difference.
Please take it off.
Let's see. So I'm just going to take off one and then just... And
oh,
not much
can you see that? Take off the second one. Take off the second one. Take off the second one.
Mike, what are you trying to do this morning?
No, because our chefs go like, that lady's too tall in the kitchen. I might not come. So we're always looking for tall chefs. But hey, Mary, definitely a chef will join you later on in the kitchen, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, of course, we still have so much more for you on the show. We've just done 1 hour. We've got 1 hour, 45 more minutes to go on the show today. You don't want to miss any part because we have wonderful guests lined up for you this morning. Okay, so let's go straight into what we have today. There's entertainment news. Just on your celebrities and all of that. We have that. But just before that, we have a DIY from Ayo Otubanjo, who is a lead consultant at Vinci Hair Clinic, who'll be giving us tips on hair loss and restoration. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we have entertainment news. Bello Krebs is going to be part of the entertainment news today.
Birthday and a part of his time. How much support and love that he gives not only to me, but to his children and to everybody in his life.
Our second musical performance will be from Abel Asifa, aka Abel, who is a renowned music producer, mix engineer, and much more. But for your mercy and your grace. Modukpe Eyinda is a mom blogger and co-founder of iMom Zone, a platform for moms to share knowledge and experience. Now she'll be talking about parental resilience as a protective factor against child abuse. And of course, our celebrity guest this morning is award-winning Nollywood actor and director Paul Utomi.
All the runners. And all these runners.
That's like Jennifer Lopez's sixth husband.
Come on.
Sixth, no?
Yeah, well, fifth.
Like she's Thanos, she has all the rings.
Wow, really?
So if she just does, if Jennifer Lopez, she just do like this, pa.
Okay, so
but I love that she's always looking for love.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that she never gives up on love.
People who look for love tend to get heartbroken the most. And that's why you just feel, okay, let me hold this person by getting married to the person, and then it doesn't work out. Unfortunately, word people, as we call them, they will be helping you count it. Meanwhile, many of them are dating 60 people. But you will not know because they did not go to the altar.
I like that. Yeah. But one thing I can say is that despite all the stress she's been through, relationship-wise, she still looks amazing.
Oh my gosh,
she's going to be 50.
She's not going to be 50.
Okay,
she was
just
50 last week.
50
looking like a hot 25-year-old.
You know?
Dear Lord.
25.
That's my look when I'm 80.
But the Diamalegusi will not allow you.
Wow. So that's the thing, and the truth is, the kind of work she puts in,
that's what we're
being that way, nobody will see the behind
Always
the scenes.
in the gym.
Yeah,
you understand?
Nobody will see that.
And one thing that's helped her is her dance habit, and I found out something. Although I might not, but when you look at ladies like herself, Beyonce, ladies that have natural six packs, you know. When they walk out and all of that, a lady on the six-pack, man, that's something.
It's really nice.
Does Beyonce have six-pack?
She has, at this point.
At least at some point, there was a point where she was walking. But of course, after having given birth, she hasn't shown so much of her stomach.
Though,
but it hasn't shown it, probably for reasons best known to her.
Way.
But the truth is, it's a lot of work.
It is.
And we don't have much time for this conversation now, but it's time for us.
All right, you're welcome to the kitchen. After trying to look as fabulous as J-Lo, you know you need to have something delicious, yes. And that's what happens right here in the kitchen on Wake Up Nigeria. We have Chef Abike Chopsticks, hey! And she'll be making a debut on the show. And for that, she'll be making chicken cheese toasters. And for us to have that fantastic breakfast, we have these ingredients. You would think when you hear just chicken toasters, or what's the big deal? And then you just see the spread. Tell us about what you're going to be making use of, beginning from this.
Okay, this is bread.
Yeah.
And this is grated cheese.
Okay.
I have my seasoning.
This is seasoning?
Yes.
I was wondering, it doesn't look like it. Okay.
Yeah, this is sugar.
Okay.
This is salt.
Okay.
And I have black pepper, Cameroon pepper.
Okay.
I prefer Cameroon
That's
pepper.
a lot of Cameroon pepper.
No, I'm not going to be using the whole of it.
Oh.
Okay. And so I have this secret ingredient.
You guys have started with your secrets. Okay, no problem. Secret
Okay.
ingredients.
So I have my chicken breast, then sausages. I have lettuce. I have butter.
Okay.
And then I have my garlic.
I thought you were going to say a secret garlic as well. I was like, okay, we know garlic.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so what's the first thing we're doing?
Okay, the first thing, I'm going to marinate the chicken.
Okay. So this isn't a dish that has to do with pans and stoves. Everything will be done on the grill.
On the grill.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So we're waiting for the grill to heat up, right?
Yes.
Is it heating up now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we're going to do this. Are you not going to season it?
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to marinate it.
Okay. So you're doing it there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you're going to make use of? The pepper. Trusty black pepper. I've come to love black pepper. It works magic on food. Okay, seasoning. Are you putting salt as well?
Yes.
Okay.
The amount of seasoning I add will determine the amount of salt I add.
Okay, so it will just be a pinch since
Yes.
you have so much seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
So are you doing it for the other side as well?
Not
you're
necessarily.
Gonna let it permeate?
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of garlic is this?
Oh.
Is it the type that has been allowed to sit for 3 weeks or 6 months? Or this is freshly cut? No.
This is fresh.
Oh, okay.
I made it this morning.
Just this morning?
Just this morning.
How did you do? You just crushed it and
Yes. You peel it and you put it in this. This is like a small tool to use to
crush it.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So I'm going to add a little bit of this.
Of your secret ingredients,
yes.
which we want to know, but you refuse to tell us, but that's okay.
You have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing for
I was like, you sure
the
you
back.
don't want to put it on
No,
the other
definitely.
Side? Okay.
And you see this chicken breast?
Yeah.
It came as a whole, so I had to slice it so that it's faster, and then the seasoning will go into it faster.
Okay, okay. So you're going to put it in there now?
Yes.
And we're repeating that process for this one. Yes. So for how long are we going to let it grill for?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Because of the thinness, it's going to grill faster.
Okay. Are we grilling the sausages as well?
Yes.
So are we going to season the sausages, or we're going to put it directly?
We're just going to put it directly on
Okay,
it.
so we put the chicken and then we are putting the sausages by the side as well?
Yes.
Okay. So we can do the whole mix when next you come to us, because we have to take a break at this point. However, do not go anywhere. Wake Up Nigeria continues right after.
Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues. And it's about time for us to talk about something very interesting. Mr. Ayo Otubanjo is the senior consultant at Vinci Hair Clinic and partner in the global medical group Vinci International. Now, he has extensive experience in hair loss diagnosis and the treatment, and he's published many professional interviews both online and in newspapers on this issue. You're very welcome to the studio.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so hair loss is a big deal.
It's very much a big deal, yes.
For both men and women alike.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
And I do believe the company you work with has been doing quite a lot of research in this area.
That's correct.
And I just want to hear it formally. Is there some miracle drug or pill or cream or ointment that can make your hair grow back?
No, no, there isn't. I mean, there's a lot of scam websites selling all manners of snake oil treatments. It doesn't work.
Wow.
Hair loss and hair restoration is a medically treatable condition, but it's not an instant result. It's a very patient, long, and in most cases, very successful outcomes.
All right.
Yeah.
So practically speaking, are there some things that people do that make their hair fall out quicker or make them lose their hair quicker than others?
Interesting question. I mean, we see quite a lot of women in our clinics in Lagos and Abuja. And in fact, we've got another clinic opened up in Accra. And most of the time, the type of alopecia we see in women are what we call the traction alopecia. Or I think the colloquial name is Mameko syndrome.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I just learned. And basically, that's the result of the excessive pulling of the hair while during the braiding session. And the things that people do in the salon, which they don't realize the consequences of that. So by constantly pulling your hair, what you're effectively doing is you're weakening the follicles, which are the roots of the hair. And after repetitively doing the same thing over and over and over again, over a long period of time, the follicles eventually die off. And when the follicles die, that's when you go bald.
Oh, wow.
And when you go bald, there aren't any cream that you could just apply and make the hair come back. You will have to go through a surgical procedure to actually get the hair back.
That's scary. Scary, but I guess it does make sense when you keep pulling and pulling on the hair. There are some hairstyles that are so painful that we wonder why we even go through them. But then let's switch over to the men's side. Now, the men are not doing any pulling and pulling of their hair.
Correct,
but a lot of them are losing their hair, possibly around this area or even in front or possibly at the back. What could be leading to that? Is there something they are doing that could be speeding it up?
Well, that's what we call androgenetic alopecia. It's a genetic form of hair loss. It affects possibly about 70% of men at some stage in their life, and some women as well. Possibly about 40% of women are affected by androgenetic alopecia before they reach menopause. There's nothing you've really done to bring on androgenetic alopecia. It's just your genes. So if you come from a family where there's a propensity for what we call the male pattern baldness, then there's a very high, probability that you will develop the same condition. So there's really nothing that you've done to bring it about. But what you can do is you could actually prevent it from happening in the first place.
Oh, wow.
Indeed, people don't believe that you could prevent baldness, but you can.
How? How do they do that?
Right. It's really knowing what the initial symptoms are. And you've noticed when the process is about to start that your hairs in the frontal bit starts getting soft, like baby's hair. Or when you relax your hair, for instance, for African hair, when you relax your hair, it gets soft. That's the very first thing you notice. That is the start of what we call the miniaturization process. Now, if you do something, or maybe come to us at that stage, once we've diagnosed the particular type of alopecia that you're experiencing, we could actually prescribe you with medication.
So that medication does what? It helps keep the hair follicles alive?
Correct, yeah. It actually prevents what's causing those follicles, to die out. So it actually stops that particular enzyme.
So it's stopping it in its tracks?
Correct, yeah.
All right. So this is something that if you know you have it in the family, you could come get it checked out and all that.
Precisely.
But once the process has already started,
right,
and the balding has already started, you probably won't be able to get that hair to grow back.
Correct, yeah. So that's why I said that it's all about catching at the very early stages. Now, once you start going bald, and baldness starts from the frontal region or the temple or sometimes in the crown area, then basically it's a question of the extent of the baldness. So if the hair is still thinning, we could do some therapies. There's so many therapies we do in the clinic, like platelet-rich plasma, mesotherapy, or sometimes, we could, do a hair transplant if that's what the client wishes. So,
so I have to go to myths now.
Yeah.
There are some myths that are kind of associated with baldness. I'm wondering some of the funniest that you've heard from your clients.
I've heard the one about stress.
Stress causes baldness.
Causes baldness.
Wow.
Stress doesn't cause baldness.
Wow.
I've heard about people saying, well, it's because I put a particular cream on my scalp, and that's why my hair's falling out.
Wow.
I mean, you need to put some really, toxic chemicals, for it to fall out.
Okay.
So many funny ones. But the point is, to look after your hair. Your hair is very important. You have to look after it. You have to be very careful what you apply on your hair. And this is with a topical point, actually, when it comes to women in Nigerian salons. Because women go to all these salons, have them apply all manners of chemicals on the hair, either glue to stick, some kind of hair, wigs, or chemical relaxers, or or dyes, all manners of things that they don't really know the provenance of.
Okay.
Some of these chemicals are very toxic. So toxic that, just to put on your skin, you could get some really nasty reaction.
Wow.
So, and women are possibly ignorantly going to the salon, thinking the salon workers know what they're doing. And sadly, they don't.
Not all of them
Not
do.
all of them, yeah.
Yes, yes.
So they end up with horrendous hair loss. Come to the clinic and say, look what's happened to me.
Wow. Wow.
What can you do for us? What can you do for me?
Okay, so now I have to say a big thank you to you for coming to dispel some of these myths, especially the fact that there is no miracle hair cream or pill that can make your hair grow back. Once again, Mr. Ayo Otubanjo, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Hopefully, we've been able to convince you and not confuse you that hair loss is not really your fault. But we still have quite a lot happening on the show. Mike is on standby. He has the latest when it comes to our celebrities. Take it away, Mike.
Mike and Mary, eh? Mike and Mary. Welcome. Let's take a look at some entertainment stories. I'm here with Mary, of course.
Yay.
And we're going to do that together.
Yay.
Uche Jumbo is the first person in the news now. She's marking, she just recently marked 20 years in Nollywood. Now, she's reached that milestone in the film industry. The 39-year-old says that she made it this far simply because her fans, and she's the only one, she's just only begun her journey. In her words, today, 20 years ago, this was the post she made when she was celebrating.
Yeah.
I made my debut in a Nollywood film, Visa to Hell. What a journey it has been. Worked my way from playing lead in my first 2 films to waka past roles, moving to writing the roles I wanted as a scriptwriter, back to leading roles. I want to say a big thank you, everyone who gave me a chance, worked with me, partnered with me on projects, and most importantly, you, my true Uju lovers. Thank you. Are you a fan of Uche Jumbo?
I think she's cool. As an actress, she's not doing so badly for herself.
Okay.
I used to think she was a bit dramatic when I was young, like all those looks. But she's really good, as a matter of fact. And I love the fact that she's managed to stay in shape. It's not easy doing that in the industry.
And being relevant in this point.
And staying relevant as well.
Where we have people...
By shape, I don't mean physically. I'm talking about
shape.
Your ability to still pull off whatever roles you're given.
Good. And for me, that's a big one for her. Being relevant is not easy in such an industry. Fleeting entertainment, we know that.
Yeah.
And we're looking for the next interesting thing. And these days where we have more of people who are fine boys, fine girls, more than people that really know how to do it.
Staying relevant is a challenge in the industry, no doubt about it.
It is. Now, moving on from that, quite a big one made the news, and I'm wondering if this is really true, that Wizkid charges as high as 100 million naira for a show.
So when you hear things like this, the first thing you should do is to convert it to dollars.
So that's
another thing.
It's less than $1 million. I mean, it's about, let's say it's about 300,000.
Yeah.
300, a little bit less than between $200,000 and $300,000. But then, hey, this might just it might just happen one day that musicians will make more money than footballers, even though I know it's not so soon. Now, just this weekend, Sensima crooner Skibby revealed in an Instagram post that Nigerian pop star Wizkid now charges 100 million for a show, nothing less. Now, 100 million, that's about what a footballer will receive in a week.
Well, as a matter of fact, it's not about what a footballer can receive. It's about the value you're bringing in. If whoever is organizing a show believes that you're bringing a value that would, allow you earn 100 million and they will still make their profits, why not? They'll be willing to pay you.
But do you think Wizkid can actually, at this point, do you think that statement is true?
It depends on where, and it depends on the kind of show.
Okay.
If you're going for certain shows,
okay,
you need money to bring your team and run your logistics and all. However, practically, I don't know how that is, except it's probably an international show.
Yeah, that's big.
Locally
that's big. But it's not impossible. Wow,
Well,
that one is
now
Nisha.
that you're saying it's kind of possible because there's a particular artist who had a show last year that okay, I don't want to say too much, but a Nigerian entity paid him 50 million naira. That was their support for his show last year.
Wow.
Yes. So when that artist was talking about, I made over 100 to 200 million on my show, people were thinking it was mouthing up because he's fond of bragging, but it was actually true because one entity gave him 50 million naira. So it's possible. It's possible. People have money.
Mary has the gist on this one. Twitter wars.
Okay.
Tiwa Savage,
Tiwa Savage.
Victoria Kimani. He was raging all over the weekend, so much about it. But I don't have the scoop on that. Can you, what's up?
There was a Twitter war that was between Nigerians and Kenyans, and it was triggered by Kemi Olunloyo. It deteriorated very quickly Sunday after Tiwa Savage tweeted to calm the storm. And then the Twitter war broke out after Olunloyo declared Nairobi as the most unsafe city in Africa when she turned down an invitation to a media event in Kenya. So that got Kenyans really infuriated by our attack on their capital, and the fact that the artists were not on Beyonce's latest album added fuel to the fire. While Nigeria had 6 features. Tiwa Savage's tweet was, the truth is, nobody actually wins when we fight. It's all love from this side. And Twitter users didn't find it cool as they told her to stay out of the war and mind her music. And from there, the drama just went to another. In fact, she had so much time. I remember seeing a tweet of hers. Someone called her childish for responding to everybody's attack. And she just went childish Gambino.
So probably was the case of being in the mood. She's not known for that.
She's not known for that. So she was probably just not having it over the weekend. She tends to ignore things like that.
Yeah, but I feel that more celebrities should ignore stuff like that more, because the funny thing is that when you reply, that's when you call attention to whatever insult or barb someone threw at you.
Mike, there's only so much one can take. There are times like that you tell yourself, I'm going to ignore. And then she was probably in a bad way and she wasn't just having it.
You lose more. Experience should let you know. So what I'm saying is that you bring the world's knowledge to that insult. So some people have insulted some parts of our anatomy that we might probably not have known if she didn't reply. The point is that you cause yourself more hurt. So when you know that if one person replied, nobody knows you. But the moment, that means to my 2 million, 3 million followers plus the rest of the world, I've drawn that response to them. So with that wisdom, and then you bring more people who would now use that as a loophole to fire you back.
Oh, well. Different strokes for different folks.
True.
I can just hope Tiwa is back in her elements. I know she was probably in a mood for her to have done that. It's quite unlike her.
Okay, all right. Let's take a break now. Don't go anywhere. There's still some more to come on the show.
You're welcome again to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. I still have our chef Abike Chopsticks. Yes, she's just doing all the drama here. And she is making something very cheesy and breadish for us this morning. What are you doing with that? I see you've coupled a set already.
Yes.
So this sandwich is ready, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's put it together for everyone to see while we talk about the ingredients we have and what we've done so far.
Okay, so first of all,
you have the bread.
I have the bread, buttered, yes. So this is the lettuce. I'll leave you with the lettuce.
Okay.
Then the grilled chicken.
Oh wow, that looks lovely. Oh my. Okay.
Okay, so then I add some cheese, grated cheese, don't forget.
Okay. So you just put the cheese
depends on how much you love cheese. You can add as much as you want.
So it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Oh, so that's all there is to it?
Yes, then
we put
it on the grill.
Oh. So that's how we arrived at that. Could you bring that out so everyone can see what it looks like?
Yep.
Yeah, so when you grill it, that's how flat it will go. So the chicken is actually in this, as well as the lettuce. So after grilling, you get this. Let's take a look at what the end result would be like. So the cheese is the one making it look gooey. Okay. So that's the cheese in the middle there. Oh my, this looks yummy. Wow. You know what they say about breakfast being served?
Okay, so.
See? So that's the chicken. That's the lettuce. This is what it would look like when your sandwich is ready. See? Fantastic. Okay. So I've been served breakfast, but for the benefit of those just tuning in, what have we done so far? Let's talk about the ingredients we've made use of so far.
Okay, so for the chicken,
yeah,
we had chicken breast.
Yeah.
So we had Cameroon pepper, the seasoning, salt, my secret ingredient, and then garlic.
Okay,
to
the ingredients
marinate
are currently on your screen. Chicken breast, grated cheese, lettuce, butter, sausages, pineapple, sugar, water. The sausage looked very attractive, and there's a reason for that. What did you do with them?
I basically just grilled it.
Yeah. So
No added seasoning, nothing, because the sausage itself is spiced already.
Yeah, so no problem with doing that. No, and then, of course, we add the butter to butter the bread, the cheese, which you sprinkled on it. We showed that. And as well as putting in the black pepper to marinate. Could you run us through that, what you did with the chicken?
Okay, so the chicken breast, so I sliced it into two so to have a thin layer. So then I added the black pepper, the seasoning, salt, my secret ingredient, and then garlic to marinate it. Yeah. Then after that, I added to the grill for about 10 minutes. When it was done, I add my bread, buttered, my lettuce. I laid the bread with lettuce, then the grilled chicken, and then my grated cheese, and then I covered with another layer of bread to grill. Now I'm going to cover it.
I'm very curious about something. I observed you didn't put butter on the other side of the bread on top. Is it deliberate?
Yes, because I don't want it to be too pressed. And
so
then
if there's butter on the upper one, it will press?
It will be too thin, and it might get a little bit soggy. Well, depending on your preference, some people like a lot of butter, so you can do that.
So it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Fantastic. All right, so it's time for us to take a look at some of your comments via social media. And, okay, so, but before then, there'll be a discussion with Mike right now. Mike, how are you doing?
All right, talking about social media and comments. Well, social media always has a way of bringing up sensations at different times. And well, we have the latest sensation in town, the latest social media sensation. First time I saw his video, I was drawn in. I love this guy. And let us welcome Mr. Eventuary in the house.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm cool.
You're welcome. It's great to have you in Nigeria, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, so you've been in Nigeria for what, like 3 days now?
Yeah.
How many days now?
Yeah.
Like 3 days now?
No, 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days now. Okay, so let's talk about your experience in Nigeria. How have you compared to Ghana? How's your experience in Nigeria so far?
Nigeria is cool. It's a cool town.
Okay,
Yeah.
you love it. It's a cool town,
I love
Okay,
it.
now let's. You came up on social media. Your video trended. Let's talk about the first time, the first video of you that came out on social media. How did it happen? Let's talk about it.
The first video, I'm pushing my car.
Okay.
So I started doing the video, and I said that nobody is not there again, only God. Yeah.
And that was how it started.
Yeah, I started.
Okay, but let's talk about you growing up in Ghana. How was it growing up for you? Let's talk about your childhood and what you were doing up until your video came out.
It make me happy every time. Yeah.
So and then your job there, you just learned to make people happy and all of that. But let's do that skit, the one you did, the main one, the one at Kenny Black's concert. You came out for like 30 seconds and you dropped it. Yeah, drop it like it's hot now. Drop it. Let's feel it.
The one I
the one
did.
there, the one you did on that concert. Okay, let's do it again.
You don't know about it. Some girls are criminal. Yeah, it can take your money for vanishing. Yeah, yeah. The waste is guilty. Yeah.
Good one. Now you're moving. You were at that concert and all of that. You're doing big things now. How do you personally? How do you feel about all of this? Did you expect all of this to happen?
No, I'm not expecting, but by God, but God grace. That's where these things is happening.
Okay, so now, going back to Ghana and all of that, moving forward, are you still going to be driving, or are you going to be involved in the entertainment industry?
Okay.
What next for you?
Okay, I'm now I push the driving outside small, so I want to focus about the thing I'm doing. I see that the thing I'm doing, some people's like it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah, true.
When you some burden in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that laughing will make you laugh.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Okay, let's have a little feel of Mr. Adventure. We'll come back after this.
Oh, that's your waist is guilty. About it. You don't know it. Some of them are criminal. It can take your criminal. It can take your money eventually.
Really?
Yeah, for vanishing.
So how much longer are you going to be in Nigeria? How much longer are you staying in Nigeria?
Tomorrow I will leave tomorrow.
Okay. Have you tasted Nigerian jollof?
Yeah.
So let's compare Nigerian jollof and Ghanaian jollof. Which one do you prefer? Tell us the truth. Or those
but me, I didn't stay here with my child.
Okay.
But when I eat, I feel different on it.
The Nigerian jollof.
Yeah.
So, but
the Ghana one is different.
Ghana one is different. So for the two, which one do you prefer? Those don't just.
I prefer Ghana.
You prefer Ghana. Okay, quite interesting, but it was it's good. What other foods did you eat in Nigeria that you enjoyed? Is there any other food you ate in Nigeria you enjoyed?
Oh, yesterday you go buy some food at a lake.
Okay.
Yeah, that food is correct.
Are you serious? You enjoy the food?
Local food.
Local food,
yeah.
Which Ghanaian food? Which are your favorite food? Which Ghanaian foods are your favorite food?
It's fufu.
Fufu?
Yeah.
We have fufu here now. What soup do you like with fufu?
I didn't see some.
You didn't see fufu?
Yeah.
We'll make sure we'll try and see if we can get you. Where's the manager? Manager, are you sure that we get eventually some Nigerian fufu there?
Yeah.
What's your favorite soup? Which soup do you like with this fufu?
It's pepper soup.
Pepper soup?
Yeah.
We have pepper here.
Yeah.
Charlie, don't try us here. Not only Ghana that have the food, we here in Nigeria, we have...
When you are eating, you are sweating. Yeah.
I like that. So you said that when you go back to Ghana, you're going to keep driving us by the side, and then you're going to focus on entertainment, right? That's wonderful. It's at least it's taking you places. You're making people happy. That's the most important thing, But do you get people that come and tell you that you're not doing anything? All these things you are doing, they are not really funny. Do you have people like that?
I face some, but when it's just for you have the patience for them.
Are you serious? Yeah. So when those kind of things come, you don't bother about what people say and all of that?
I don't mind them. I know that somebody's enjoying that.
That's the spirit, man. I like that. Mr. Adventure, here's wishing you the best, man. I wish you the best, and I hope you do bigger things, Charlie.
Yeah.
Good one. Nice one. It's good having you in Nigeria. Yeah. Take more fufu. We'll get you fufu and pepper soup before you leave. Huh?
Yeah.
Nice one.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. All right. That was Mr. Adventure in the house. We had a wonderful time with him. I like this guy. Just get yourself happy. Forget what people say. Whatever they want to say, get yourself happy. All right. That's all we can take for the second hour of the show. Don't go nowhere. We still have 45 minutes more to go and wake up Nigeria.
Eventually, we have come to the third hour of Wake Up Nigeria.
You don't know why it's doing something.
Yes.
Your waist is cutie.
Wow. I wasn't going that far, but you went there. But it's all about making sure you have a very good morning. Once again, our mission here this morning is to make sure that you wake up in an amazing way. That's all. That's why we're paid all the big bucks. Yeah.
Probably only one person that's getting
wow, Mike. Wow.
All right, but of course, so we do that.
I've seen your Bentley.
And nothing else, because, everyone loves music. food in one form or the other. Even though they might not want to accept, everybody feels his mic, but there's some people that love food more than me. But of course, all of that packaged together, we deliver it in really creative ways that are sure to please your eyes, ears, and of course, your taste buds.
Yes, indeed. Something has been making my tummy rumble in this studio. I don't understand what's
There's
going
a
on.
rumble in my tummy.
Wow, stop. Just stop.
It means that I am hungry. And food
You know what?
time is
Wake
here.
Up Nigeria is your
I am so
one-stop
excited,
shop
and I
for
can hardly
everything,
wait.
especially when it comes to food like what you're seeing on the screen.
My mouth is getting ready.
Yes, so to eat what the chef has cooked. Everything entertaining, educative, tasty is coming your way.
Yes.
Hey.
See my breakfast, you guys.
Yeah, Mary. You
guys. You wish you were here.
If you touch
Don't
that,
you wish your tummy was in the kitchen right now?
You don't make me finish my song, man.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, finish your song.
I didn't want them to give you sanctions. Let's take this further. We have quite a lineup. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
I am Mike Mexicano. You can also watch the show live via online streaming on our website. The site is tvcontinental.tv. On Facebook, it's at TVC Connect. You can comment and interact with us with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yes, indeed. Now, the TVC app is also available for download. Stop what you're doing. Just go to the Android or iOS stores right now. Download this app. You can watch us from anywhere in the world, as long as you have data or Wi-Fi.
Right.
Or is it Wi-Fi? In
Whichever
Ghana,
one you want to
Ghana
call
is
it.
Wi-Fi.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi.
don't let them come. Let's not start Nigeria Ghana wars. Well, see, Ghana, they are brothers, so our fight is steady.
They are brothers.
We don't send, man. We're going to continue. If it's Ghana Jollof versus Ghana, but don't come with our music. They Shatta Wale and Whiskey. Don't try yourself.
Wow.
Stone Boy, Shatta Wale, all of you. Don't try yourself.
Speaking of music, very shortly we have gospel artist, songwriter, and music producer Abel giving us a music performance.
If you were to count my sins, I could never ever.
And then on parenting, we'll be talking about parental resilience as a protective factor against child abuse. Wow, that's quite a mouthful there. And we have mom blogger and co-founder of iMom Zone, Mudukwe Eyinla.
Celebrity guest this morning is award-winning Nollywood actor, director, and scriptwriter Paul Utomi.
Pimps, all the runners. And all these runners.
Because today is Share a Hug Day.
Oh, I knew something was coming. I knew something was
Share a
coming.
hug day.
Share a hug.
Share a hug.
Share a hug.
Okay, so share a hug day.
It's not easy to hug people these days. Oh.
No, but someone said something about hugs and how much as human beings we need to share hugs.
Yeah.
Because when you hug somebody, especially when it's somebody you care for.
Yeah.
You release
There are
some
certain
sort of
hormones that
hormones.
release that.
But be careful, don't just go around just hugging anybody anyhow, because some people, the hormones that are going to be released are not hormones that should be just hugging anyhow.
So this is a very interesting topic, because a lot of us in this generation were not really given that hugging environment. Yeah.
Especially by our parents.
Yes. And the truth
I can't remember my dad hugging
weird.
me.
You can't remember him hugging you.
My mom hugged us so much. My
Okay.
dad as well.
Okay, my dad, no, I think so. When I primary. I think, yeah, when I was the best student in maths for quite a very long while.
Give you a hug.
So he gave me a hug.
You know,
I'm trying to think if it's very true, because it's like it's not very true. I'm trying to...
So it's such a, it's a really big issue.
African parents have to show their love in different ways.
Yes.
Maybe their love is...
Doesn't mean they don't love you.
Maybe their love is that they just notice that you have 2 meat in your food.
Yes.
And they won't say anything.
Yes.
Eh? But you don't
or
say
a particular toy they see you've been pining after.
So
they
it's
give it to you.
recently I started saying I love you to my mom, and it's still strange. I say it now, but I didn't grow up. They don't tell you they love you.
Yes.
They love you is maybe not. I don't know now. Maybe you break out. Maybe you do something and okay. Oh yeah, go and do something. Go and take that thing. I brought something for you. Go and take it. That is I love you.
Yesterday evening, so I was
sure-
talking to my little girl, and she was just casually leaning on me, and then I was like, you know I love you, like, right? When was the last time I told you I love you? You told me that yesterday. You tell me every day, mommy.
Okay.
And I was like, I want you to know.
Yes. It's a very big deal. Try and hug your kids more.
Yes.
You have no
Show them
idea
you
what
love
you're
them.
doing. You have no idea how
What they're
big a
even going
connection you're
through.
creating. Give them a hug today.
All right.
In the studio with us this morning, we have Modupe Ainla. Now, she is a beauty consultant and also a mom blogger and co-founder of I'm Mom Zone. Now, it's a platform for pregnant, new moms and moms to toddlers. They share their motherhood experiences on this platform. And she's discussing with us today parental resilience as a protective factor against so many issues, but specifically on child abuse.
Yes.
I'm really glad you could come. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so now this word resilience, we've used it quite a bit in many different areas, but when it comes to parenting and child abuse, why are you using the word resilience here?
Okay, so we all know that parenting is it's not a walk in the park. It's really hard. And also everyday life is as well very, very hard. So if any parent can actually tackle family challenges as well as tackle their own challenges 100%, then they have resilience. And I mean, at the same time, they're able to help their child be a less prey to pedophiles.
Or abusers. Okay. So now the word child abuse itself is a very broad.
Yes, it is.
Broad area.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people, when they hear child abuse, they think of physical abuse. There's actually also quite a lot of other aspects
emotional
of
abuse. Yes, emotional abuse, physical abuse, like you mentioned. There's just a whole lot of abuse. I mean, they're kids. You can't really tell what they are going through if you don't probe further, if you don't ask beyond the surface. So you need to look beyond the surface. You need to listen to what they are not saying. You don't just listen to their words. Just listen, look at their countenance, their body language. What is my child not saying? How can I help my child speak out? How do you give an enabling environment where your child can actually talk to you without barriers?
Okay, so there's a question that is always asked of children that I feel I really don't like. And I hear this thing, how are you? That how are you question. And I'm going to say it, I'm saying it here. I did say I was going to say it on air earlier. How are you? That how are you question has that automatic response, like default response of fine. True. And every child is saying fine, fine, fine. And the question, how are you, just doesn't break the surface enough.
No, it doesn't.
It's lost a lot of meaning. So I'm someone that I would rather ask the question, how are you feeling? You know, how was your day? Or maybe, so when it comes to parental resilience now, is it that parents are just too distracted, or maybe they are asking how are you, but not realizing it's not connecting?
Yes, it's way deeper than just how are you. It's important that you ask deeper questions like, how are you today? What did you do today? Is there anything interesting you'd like to share with me? It's really important that we ask those questions. It's not just, how are you? Because the default answer is, I'm fine, I'm okay, and that'll be it. But you wouldn't know that your kid is dealing with something deeper than that. And it could be because we're stressed. Life is hard. We don't really have the time to ask questions. So it's important as parents to take care of ourselves, to be able to take care of our child better. Because we can't give what we don't have. You can't give from an empty plate or bowl. So you need to take care of yourself. If you're going to stress yourself, it will affect your child. It's important that you get support. You talk to someone. If you have family friends that you can share your struggle with, share it. If you have a community of mom that you can talk to, do that to help not just yourself, but help your child.
Okay, so we've talked about resilience and talking to the child, but why is it that speaking with the child would protect a child from child abusers or child abuse itself? Why is that? Okay, so why is this even a topic for discussion in the first place?
Because, I mean, it's everywhere. You wake up in the morning and the next thing you see on the news is 5-year-old girl abused. I mean, it's everywhere. And now is the time for we as parents to wake up and do more. It's important that we speak. I saw a video of you and your daughter, and I mean, that's parental resilience. You did not just, when she told you, it's hard, you didn't just say, oh, okay, let's just do this about it. You went deeper, you asked questions, you allowed her voice out. She was very vocal and very, very expressive about her feelings and emotions, and that is how it should be. Between a parent and the child, it's really important.
But getting to that stage was not easy. A lot of people don't realize that to get a child to speak out like that, you have to have given that child the tools, the vocabulary to even speak out, and the opportunity. So I'm someone that I hardly ever tell my kids to shut up, for instance. That is not in our, I can tell them to be quiet while I'm speaking, but I never tell them to
shut up.
Because a lot of parents don't let their kids actually speak. But the resilience of it now, the patience of it, parents are busy. That's the truth. They are actually very, very busy.
That's true.
I'm blessed enough to be in the media, so I probably have a little more time than a 9-to-5er. So what advice would you give to parents that are very, very busy?
Well, I would say conscious effort. We need to make conscious effort. We need to be conscious about it. We need to want to help our kids. We need to want to do better. So it's not just by being a parent, it's by wanting to do better, wanting to take it wanting to take it a step further. It's really important.
Is there any specific set of tips that you could give a parent who has made that decision? Okay, I want to, be more resilient as a parent now. What would you advise them if they came to meet you?
Okay, so if they came to meet me, I would say that, do you know your child so well? What do you know about your child? You need to get a book, write it down. My child is this, my child is that. Okay, so when my child is sad, what does he do? Does he just pick something, throw it, or what? You need to know all those things, list it out. Now that you know what your child can do, whenever your child comes to you for anything, any challenges, with what you know, you'll be able to tackle it better and help out better.
I feel like some children respond in that way because they've seen their parents do the same.
Well, you know that the way we were trained is totally different from now. So you can't just, back then, you can't just walk up to your mom or dad and say, I'm not feeling fine, my homework is too hard, or assignment is too hard, I can't do it, without them bringing out something and tell you better sit down and do it. But today, we have to sit down with them like they are our best friends. Give them that enabling environment. Make it very easy for them to be able to express and say, okay, mommy, daddy, this is what I am going through. I'm not fine.
I watched a short video online where a lady said specifically that she couldn't speak out to her parents, and the day she actually did speak out, it was on a religious issue. So her parents wanted her to go to a church meeting on a Wednesday, and she was a teenager, and she kept telling her mom that she didn't want to go. And automatically the mom thought of it as an opportunity to send her for deliverance. So apparently she had been going for these meetings and being molested by the people there. And she told her mom, and the mom still sent her for deliverance again, that why is she developing such lies in order to prevent herself from going to church. So now, this is another issue.
Yes. It is.
Being the ones even causing the abuse as opposed to preventing it. So right now, I'm going to ask you once again, if there's anything any parent has been doing wrong and they came to meet you or they talk to you about it, what advice would you give them in this instance?
I'll tell them to check themselves. It's really important. It could be that you're stressed, there's something going on with you yourself, or maybe you as a parent need help.
Okay.
So the best thing is for you to check yourself, talk to someone. Talk to someone about yourself. If you need to just go away, or if you need like 3 hours to just sit down and check yourself, you need to do that. You need to check yourself.
I have to say a big thank you to you for coming to the studio to
me.
talk to us about this. It is a big issue. It's not something that can be discussed.
No, it's quite deep.
Just one show.
Yes.
And as a blogger, you've probably seen loads of stories come up.
Yes.
We appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
The show has to continue. We would love to see your responses to this particular issue on our social media pages. Please use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tell us what you think. It's about time for us to take a musical performance now, and Abel is right there.
I just wanna thank you for all you've done for me.
Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues now. Yes. It's just an announcer voice.
Catch your breath.
We have a guest in the studio. Mr. Paul Utomi is an award-winning Nollywood actor, filmmaker, who's appeared in TV series, short films, and of course has written and directed a couple of short films as well.
He won the African Film Festival Best Actor in 2017. I was also nominated in the same category at the Best of Nollywood Awards in 2017 for his role in A Family.
He's an avid reader, scriptwriter, and fitness enthusiast, as you can see. Yes, he looks very fit. For those in the studio that know, I like fit guys. Yes.
Do you have to show yourself?
Yes, I have to show myself. Yes.
Okay, it's great to have you, Paul.
You go and walk out.
Welcome.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
You know, it's always great to have newer filmmakers in Nollywood coming up with the new ideas and all of that, the shift. Are you of the school of thoughts of the old and the new Nollywood? You believe in that?
No, not really.
Okay, should I say classification? Let me use that word.
Not really, not necessarily.
Okay, you believe that? It is
Nollywood. One industry.
Okay.
And the only constant thing in life is change. So things are constantly evolving and changing, and it's a good thing.
But there's been that battle of the old guys and saying, what are the new guys doing these days? They have all the equipment, they don't have storyline. They don't really give us African stories. And then the new guys are saying, we need to be world-class standard. Let's shoot with Ari, let's shoot with all of that. You know, there's always been that battle.
Well, the truth is, at the end of the day, story is king. Story is king. If the story isn't right or isn't great, then you really don't have a film. It doesn't matter how well you shoot, it wouldn't turn out right or it wouldn't look right. Yeah. So when people say the story has to be right, they have a point. But the thing is, we should embrace new technology, and there are new methods of doing things, and there are people with new ideas that should be listened to. So it's just to find a way to marry both worlds, and I think we're doing that little by little.
Since we're still on the story issue, the stories of back in the day are different from the stories of today. So there wasn't the internet back in the day. There wasn't modern technology, you know, there wasn't social media back in the day. And all these things are now being infused in how Nollywood movies are being promoted and even the stories that are being told. Have you ever been wary of, you know, scripts that you collect based on the storyline?
Yes. I think every actor has had issues with certain stories.
Have you rejected roles because of that? Have you ever rejected any role because of the script or storyline?
Maybe I have been unavailable.
That's the way we put it. Sorry, I'm not available for, you know, that. I'm actually out of town.
Yeah.
You've had scripts that you'd rather not do, right?
Yes. But I've had some that I have done that I'd rather not do. So yes, you've had scripts you'd rather not do that you didn't do, and you've had some that you just grit your teeth and do it. So yes. Yeah.
But is there anything odd you've had to do to get a role, for instance? I'm asking this based on the fact that I know there must be some funny stories of how you went for castings and got into Nollywood.
There are funny stories, but I don't know if I've ever done anything odd
to
get a role. You know, the truth is, if you're an actor in Nigeria and even the world at large, you're going to be rejected 90-something% of the time. Even Tom Cruise gets rejected. Will Smith gets rejected. So we all face rejection on different levels, and sometimes it's in the most polite fashion. They tell you, thank you for coming, we'll get back to you, and you never hear from them. Sometimes they offer you a role, they negotiate, and then all of a sudden, it gets taken away from you. So these things happen.
Moment, right? It does happen. So I saw something, there's a clip we showed, and I saw a bit of action.
Yes.
You've directed action stuff before, have you?
No, I haven't directed action stuff, but I have featured in action.
Now, that is one genre of movies that a lot of people, the general public feels that Africa, as a whole continent, has not really gotten its acts together in that part, the action genre. Is there anything we can do to step up in that level? Because now, action films outside, there's the use of CGI, there's the use of effects and all of that. What can we do as an industry to really, in that part, because people love action movies.
Yes, true. The thing is, there are some people, some directors and filmmakers in Africa and Nigeria who have done pretty decent work with the action genre. It's getting better. There are more people willing to give it a go. But the thing is, they need time, and time is money. To shoot an action sequence requires more time and more setups than it will take to shoot a normal dialogue.
You destroy more things.
Yeah, destruction.
Yes,
and all of that.
Vehicles and fire.
And all of that.
Yeah.
So, and CGI is not cheap.
At all.
At all. So,
in fact, there was a particular movie, I don't want to mention the name, but I remember the director was doing a behind the scene, and he took us to where just one guy was doing the whole effects. One guy. Yeah. And this was a big movie I said then. But then you look at foreign movies and you see teams of people. In fact, they even outsource CGI and VFX and effects to different companies to work on it. So I agree with you. We need money, we need time to get to that place and all of that. Yes. But generally, as Nollywood, compared to, we've had, I can remember, I think with Black Panther, we had John Carney and some other people. As an industry worldwide, how well do you think they are being recognized, apart from the volume of films we produce, the quality of our actors and all of that? How well are we doing when it comes to being at par with what is available worldwide?
They say success is relative. I think on some level we are getting there slowly but surely. Our films are being accepted into festivals across the globe, and I think with time we'll probably get into festivals like Cannes. But the main thing is to celebrate our own, to start our own festivals that celebrate African films and Nigerian content. Yes.
So you believe without us starting it here, you don't believe it's going to get larger abroad?
If you don't love yourself, how can you expect other people to love you?
So love you. Good. Let's talk about collaborations. If you had to collaborate with any foreign that you have not collaborated with, say foreign actor or actress, or that you've not worked with, who would that person be?
Off the top of my head, it would probably be Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
But he's retired now, so that would be hard.
Daniel Day-Lewis. That's not a name that many people would put a face to it at once. Now, that's a very interesting choice.
But, we need to check you out in action here.
Let's see how much of Daniel Day-Lewis we can see in Paul Utomi.
Pretty.
Look, I know what you're thinking, but I'm getting too old for this. Besides, she really likes me a lot, and I kind of like
What makes you think I don't?
Rita.
Bad guy alert. Bad guy alert.
She's a side chick.
I don't know.
One of the best side chicks. And she knows her place. I like that. You see,
wow.
You know the thing now. You know the thing with society.
Wow.
The issue with heartbreak is that many people tend to feel that they're number one when they're the side chick. And many guys, he was straightforward in that place, man. If more guys were like that, would have had less heartbreak,
This conversation, man. I don't think I should be part of this conversation.
Yes, you are.
There's a fine line here that I don't want to cross.
Yes, you are.
If we start this conversation now, we're going
But let's talk about that movie. What was that scene and everything in the movie about?
That was a short film.
A short film, okay.
And she kind of was a side piece. Things didn't go well.
I feel like you have, not to put you on the spot, I feel like you have a monologue or two that you have in your back pocket. If you can pull one out of your back pocket and present to us.
No, I don't.
You don't? I know you have. I know you do.
Yes.
How so?
You know that thing where they say people know you more than you know yourself? It's the power of suggestion. People kept telling me to try this, to try that, to try this, and try modeling. Okay. Try writing and presenting. Okay. Try voiceover work. Okay. And then try acting. And okay. So that's basically how it progressed.
If you weren't acting, what would you be doing? What else would you be doing? We're acting or modeling, or if it was not any of those things people told you to do, what would you have been doing?
I don't know.
You don't know? You never thought about it?
I kind of have.
Okay.
But the host of things I like to do, I like to read, I like to travel, I like to play sports. So maybe sports presenter.
Okay.
Maybe
all right.
sports
Cool.
host.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Maybe host a travel blog or something.
That's nice.
But yeah, basically.
Interesting.
So, well, let's generally how you've now gotten into directing, and how many movies have you directed?
2 short films.
2 short.
But I have co-produced a series of films, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what should we be looking at? What should your fans look out for from Paul?
Well,
look forward to?
in the not too distant future, I probably will be directing a feature-length film.
Beautiful.
Yes, I've written the first draft of the screenplay, and we're working in second draft right now. And,
All right.
Yes.
To borrow your coinage here, in the very not distant future, we're going to the kitchen.
Okay.
Right now. In fact, that's right now.
We have breakfast for
we
you.
have
So, hey.
breakfast standing by for us. Please join us in the kitchen.
All right. So, this way.
Now, it's
Okay.
really interesting having someone who's both acted, written, and directed before. It's really
breaks
key.
hearts as well. Obviously.
Please take a seat.
Thank you.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Yes, so you're welcome to the kitchen.
Thank
Today's
you.
chef has been the amazing Abike. Chopsticks and grills.
All the time, yes. Only this thing you did.
Yes, this is all we made.
Abike.
Yes.
Don't follow
The rest of us have eaten. Sorry, you guys were having an
remaining one.
interview,
Yes.
so we had to save this for the guests. The
Yes,
rest of us have
indeed.
had breakfast.
Yeah,
Thank you very
we're
much.
jealous enough, Mary. It's
Okay, so tell us how we arrived at this.
Seen what was in there. Oh, lovely color.
It's
there. I don't know if you can
pineapple
get that.
juice.
Very lovely.
Freshly made, by the way. She
Beautiful.
blended it here, then sieved it to achieve this.
All right. So, chef,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Nice effort.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Wonderful. So, this is yours to taste.
Yeah, please
Tell us
go
what
ahead
you
and
think.
try it. Let's know what you make of it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty
Grab-
sure it's great.
So, it's really interesting the fact that you grill most of your food. Is
So,
that
can you just tell us here how this came together?
Okay, so that's chicken cheese toasters. So add bread, add lettuce, add butter, add
Okay.
chicken breast, then sausages.
Wow.
Interesting.
Thank
So
you
as she
very
was
much.
mentioning all those foods,
No,
my
I don't,
stomach
I
was
don't.
just tying tighter in knots. Like,
It's really nice.
Thank
Really,
you.
really nice.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think so.
The big shout out to Homely NG for our kitchen accessories.
Yes,
And then, of course, big shout out to Paul and other guests who came on the show today. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Now, you should really get up bright and early to be a part of our show
tomorrow.
every single morning. And we're here from Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. all the way till around this time. And it's always worth watching. Thank you so much to everyone who was on the show today.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
for
you.
coming.
Have a great day, y'all.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.